we've added and updated our site information page, it's time to go to the second step of the entering enrollment and attendance process, adding youth participant data. This can be done in one of two ways, manually and or through an upload process. In this video, I'm going to be showing you the manual option. To add youth manually to the database, access the Participants and Staff tab to the left of the site information page. Here you can see viewing a full list by type of individual, either participants or program staff. You can also view people by the first initial of their last name or search for specific individuals. In order to add a new person, access the Add Person tab in the upper right. As you can see here, you can select which person type you are entering, either youth participants or program staff. For our purposes, we want to select youth participants since that is who we're adding to the database at this point in time. I am going to add Andy Dwyer from Pawnee's Parks and Recreation Department. Click Add Person, and now you can see that there was a successful registration for Andy Dwyer. Let me show you what happens when you try to add someone who already exists in the database. As you can see here, a little red text box pops up to let you know that there's already someone in the database by the name of Hermione Granger. If this is a different Hermione Granger and you know it's a different Hermione Granger, then you can certainly accept the duplicate record and make sure that any other identifying information for Hermione is added to the database to differentiate these two people. If this is the same Hermione Granger, then you do not want to create a duplicate record and you can just select Cancel, which will bring you back out to the original page. So we've just added Andy Dwyer to the database, so let's see if we can find his record. I'm going to click on D in the alphabet, select Andy Dwyer, and here is his full registration page, which you can access immediately after adding him to the database. As you can see here, there's a few required fields for Andy Dwyer, including birth date, race, and gender. If you have this information, it's highly recommended that you add it to CitySpan now. Birth date is an especially important field to help differentiate and identify students. So in our cases, when we were looking at Hermione Granger, there was one birth date that said, this is the Hermione Granger born on June 31st, 2002. I am adding another Hermione Granger that's born on a different date. So this is really helpful in making sure that we're either A, differentiating different students, or B, not duplicating records for existing students. Race and gender are also super helpful for programs to add in the database, but if that's not information that you collect on your students, it's okay that you're not able to add it. A few other sections of this registration form include some other fields that are helpful to record and some contact fields. One of the most important fields on this page is this data consent form. So many of you, as partners of Boston After School and Beyond, pass out the Boston After School and Beyond consent form, parental consent form to the parents of your youth participants. This is where in the database you would mark whether or not this particular student, Andy Dwyer, has returned a parental consent form to participate in the measurement work. And that's really easy, you just do a little checkbox here. You can also check whether or not they've indicated consent for a photo and video release, or if you have the permission to contact them. Here are some ID fields. So BPS ID is self-explanatory, as well as state student ID. If your program has its own database in which you're tracking youth, you can absolutely add the ID number from your own database via the person ID field. You'll also see here language, grade, and zip code, which is helpful information to determine what neighborhood students are coming from. and you can feel free to add any other sort of registration information on your students in this page. And then finally, you have parent and guardian information here as well. Once you've entered all the information, you can click Save, and it has been saved to the database and you're golden. To get back to add another person to the database or another youth participant, click on the View Persons tab and go ahead and add a person via the tab in the upper right. So that's all for adding students manually to the database. If you have any questions or need any additional resources on how to manually add youth participants to the database, please go to the Insight Center at insight.bostonbeyond.org/cityspan.